Well, that's where the cicada bugs, I can't pronounce them, that word, but whatever they are, cicadas, that's where they came out. So far this morning, no noise. I wonder if they've all gone back. Usually it's just as quick as they come, they go away. A mystery of nature, of God's nature. This morning, I'm just out here in my backyard. I decided to turn my phone on, try to record a few things that go through my mind this morning. Peace and love to everybody down here in Alabama. I'll go up here and turn this light out. Keep going to burn electricity. What was I going to say? Oh, I thought this morning I'd get my coffee right here and talk about down here we have no lasting, things just don't last, lasting habitation. You know, this is not a home. Every time I try to make it real permanent, I find out it's fleeting. Down here we don't have any lasting habitation. I'm tempted to think back this morning on something I said before on this broadcast, back when I was in the late 50s, almost a teenager. Something happened to me that I keep going back to. It's when I fell through the ice at this lake that was down behind my house. Had frozen over, and these grown-ups had a sled down there, and they were sliding around on it, and they had ice skates. Well, anyways, make a long story short, I'd seen them skating. And the ice was pretty hard at that time, but the next day I came out and that sled was there on the edge of the lake, and the water was still frozen, pretty good, it looked like to me. So I got on that little sled, and I start pushing around the edge of the bank, making sure I didn't get out too deep. I was just a kid. Mom didn't know anything about it. Back then, we used to go off and stay gone all day. Nobody worried about anything. But anyway, I fell through the ice. You know, it was like my whole life passed before me. I know people say that, but that's what happened, kind of like those VCRs when you would run them backwards, you know. And I thought to myself, what is this all about? I'm barely got, here I am dying. As I went under, I was thinking to myself, here I am, and barely a teenager. And here I am about to die. Of course, I didn't die. I'm making this video, but when I think back on it, wow. But anyway, when I went under, it was like there was this being that had been watching me all this time, you know. Didn't know anything, didn't know who he was. I just knew that there was this power, let's put it that way, that was keeping up with everything, about everybody. And anyway, I thought I was going to die, but by some miraculous event, supernatural strength, I found myself up on the bank, and I got out of it. No help but from anybody but God. And I found myself lying up on the bank, alive. But this higher being, the Most High, Almighty, I knew there was a God at that moment in my life. I knew there was a God. I didn't know what in the world that event took place for, except to show me. I didn't know he was going to let me live all the way into my late 70s, but he did, for a reason. Probably to make this little video right here. But everything in my life, when it was played back to me, well, there wasn't nothing good in it, you know, in that rewind. There wasn't nothing good about my life at all, you know. So whoever this being was, that didn't matter to him, because he put me back up on that ground and let me live. It didn't matter to him, you know. I'm just saying, brothers and sisters, it doesn't matter what you've done in this body. The God of heaven, if he loves you, he just loves you. That's why we should be nice. We should love our enemies, like the Bible says, because at one time we were all enemies of God. All of us, brothers and sisters. Well, here I am, going on 77 years later, making a little video down here in Alabama, telling folks about that event that happened when I was just a small young lad over there in West Point, Georgia, where I lived at the time, right across the river there, the Chattahoochee River. I'm kind of a Georgia, Alabama man. Lots of people, we're right on the borderline down here. But anyway, I wanted to make this video, and tell you, brothers and sisters, in this world we're going to have tribulation, and but be of good cheer. He's overcome the world. And oh yeah, one other thing I thought to myself, well, this dying, it didn't even hurt. I tell you what hurts is living. That hurts. I wasn't hurting until I came back to my senses up on the bank. Then I started hurting. I went back up to the house, and Mama got on to me, put me in a hot tub of water, and I looked down. I don't know if I want to show it to you or not. I don't want to make this video X-rated. Oh, but I didn't, I looked down on my leg, and there it was. That right there, see that right there? That was a mark on my leg, been there since that day. It was blood vessels had popped, but that was there to remind me down through my life that there is a God in heaven. I could have been gone back then, but there's a reason for everything that happens in your life, brothers and sisters, the good and the bad. And the Lord gives and the Lord takes away. And I'm here at the end of my life. I'm learning. I hope he didn't give me another trial because I made this video, but I'm learning that We counted all joy. But anyway, peace and love, brother, said this from this old man down here in Alabama.